Hello everyone and welcome back to the Recovery Channel. Now, I just have to get something off my chest right now. Last week, Phil was supposed to talk about admitting when we're wrong and he totally dumped it on me. Then he went off on some airy-fairy crap about self-love. What the heck, Phil? Come on, how about sending some love my way and taking the hard topics? I'm going to have one of those boundary conversations he went on about back in week 30. Well, you know what, Phil? Since I'm the bigger man, I'll take the last part of Step 10, which is when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. One of the unique aspects of Step 10 is that it isn't a one and done type deal. Now, you could say that about other steps. We sometimes need to remind ourselves of our powerlessness when we're tempted to slack off, going to meetings, or doing our dailies. We need to remind ourselves that there's a power out there that is bigger than us when we feel overwhelmed and don't know what to do. But Step 10 is purposeful, daily practice. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't just do it once and expect to have clean teeth for the rest of your life. We do Step 10 daily because we need to keep our headspace clean, free of unresolved resentments and unchecked ego. One of the challenges with Step 10 is that many of us have had a hard time admitting when we're wrong. Right, Phil? We see it as a sign of weakness. We think that if we admit we're wrong, people will lose respect for us, or worse, they'll use it against us. So instead of admitting fault, we double down, blame someone else, or pretend it didn't happen. But in reality, when we can admit we're wrong, we actually gain respect. And most people appreciate our honesty and vulnerability and don't throw it back in our face. Things go better for us when we can be real and admit that we're not perfect. And then we feel a whole lot better about ourselves. Another really important thing to remember about Step 10 is that it is not about beating ourselves up for our mistakes. It's about accountability. It's about recognizing when we veered off course and making a conscious effort to steer back in the right direction. It's about cleaning up our side of the street so we can walk down it without tripping over our own mess. One of the beautiful things about Step 10 is that it gives us permission to be human. We are human and we're going to make mistakes. We're going to have moments when we say the wrong thing, act out of fear or pride, or let our old behaviors creep back in. Step 10 isn't about achieving perfection. It's about progress. It's about owning our humanity and being willing to grow from it. So you remember I was telling you about how I got mad at Phil because he kept cutting my jokes out of the videos? Well, one day, we were talking about it, and I got a little agitated and let my anger get the better of me. I said things in a way that wasn't exactly friendly, if you know what I mean. But man, I was right. They're good jokes. But he just kept saying he understood how I felt and could see that it was really upsetting me. I hate it when he uses that reflective listening crap on me. But I hate to admit, it works. So I swallowed my pride and said, hey, I realize that what I said probably came off as rude and I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention, Phil. And you know what? The world didn't end. Phil didn't hold it against me. In fact, he appreciated my honesty, and it brought us closer. That's the power of Step 10. Now, for some reason, my videos keep getting shorter, but you know what? If the other person, Phil, is going to harbor a resentment, that's on you. That's on them. I did my part, and I can let go of it. Kind of like step 9, huh? Now, Phil's a pretty sensitive guy and understands what vulnerability looks like, and he's able to respect that sacred ground. But what if the person isn't so enlightened? Admitting we're wrong can make us feel very exposed, vulnerable, uncomfortable. But it's in that vulnerability that we find connection. When we admit our mistakes, we give others permission to do the same. We create an environment of trust and authenticity. And that's where we want relationships to grow. If the other person is closed off and too steeped into their own stuff to receive the gift that you're offering them, that's okay. Again, you've done your part, cleaned house, and can feel good about that. Let's talk about the word promptly for a minute. Promptly basically means as soon as possible. It's not when we feel like it or someday when it's convenient. It's promptly. Why? Because the longer we wait, the harder it gets. The longer we let a mistake fester, the more damage it can do to us and to others. Addressing it quickly prevents it from growing into something bigger than it really needs to be.
So, promptly making amends is eating crow when it's hot.
And how do you do that? How do you promptly make amends when you make a mistake? What do you do?
Chris, what I just said was very insensitive. It might have hurt your feelings. It bothered me. Please forgive me. I will be better and try better in the future.
This week is about admitting when we're wrong. But I want to go back to the inventory part for a moment because this is important. Step 10 isn't just about admitting when we're wrong. It's also about recognizing when we've done well. It's about taking stock of our actions and acknowledging the progress we've made. Sometimes we get so caught up in trying to improve our shortcomings that we forget to celebrate the victories. Step 10 reminds us to keep a balanced perspective. Give yourself a pat on the back when you realize that positive change is happening. So how do we practice step 10 in our daily lives? Here are a few practical tips. Pause and reflect. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to review your actions. Were there moments when you acted out of fear, anger, or selfishness? Were there moments when you showed kindness, patience, or courage? Write that down. Give yourself a pat on the back. Listen to your gut. That inner nudge is often our best guide. If something doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. Explore it. Practice humility. Remember, admitting we're wrong doesn't make us weak. It makes us strong. It shows we're willing to grow and learn. Make amends promptly. Don't let pride or fear hold you back. The sooner you address a mistake, the easier it is to fix. Celebrate your progress. Give yourself credit for the times you've done the right thing. Growth is worth acknowledging. Step 10 is a powerful tool for living an authentic and meaningful life. It's a practice that keeps us grounded, accountable, and connected to others. It reminds us that it's okay to be human as long as we're willing to own our humanity and learn from it. So let's commit to practicing step 10, not just as a part of our recovery, but as a way of life. Keep taking inventory, own your mistakes, and celebrate your growth. Because at the end of the day, what this journey is all about is progress, not perfection. Your homework this week is to start doing your daily inventory if you haven't already. We've provided a guide with the questions you can ask yourself at the end of the day. You can pick and choose the ones that work best for you. But at a minimum, make sure you're thinking about anyone you might owe an amends. Things that you did, things you'd like to do better, things you'd like to do better the next time, and what you did well. Be sure to give yourself a pat on the back for those good ones. If you did anything toward working your recovery, that's something you should always praise yourself for. Speaking of praise, Phil and I want you to know that we're super proud of you. The fact that you're watching week 43 of this program means you've been working hard for almost a year now. Keep up the good work and know that you are loved and appreciated. And always remember, recovery is possible today.